Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't want to belabor this more than last night, and I know there's going to be more opportunities to discuss it. Of course, I'm asking for a no on this bill. I think SOLAs are wonderful, state operating living alternatives. Before I was even in the legislature, I thought, where's the enhanced behavioral support across this state? Some sort of enhanced behavioral support in a community environment, least prescriptive environment. That sounds wonderful. I think we need more. I have a hunch that there are hundreds, maybe thousands of people, like some of our family members, like my family members, who would be better served by a community opportunity like a SOLA might provide. But we're not supporting that yet, and I'd like to see us get there. I think two things can be true. I think you can support SOLAs and community-based living, and you can support something like the RHCs for a time. I think two other things can be true. You can support RHCs today and support a plan to move away from RHCs at some date in the future. What I think can't be true is that you can support the people that are supported by the RHCs and shut them down within 2 years without a plan. The bill itself, in just a couple paragraphs, really in one sentence in the paragraph, within available funds, the department shall provide SOLAs, may use existing supported living program capacity. That line, within available funds, sits like a sword of Damocles over any plan that we would have to do this in a functional way in 2 years. Mr. Chair, it takes 3 years to get a diagnosis sometimes for a lot of these disabilities. 2 years is lightning speed in government terms. I know anyone watching this online may be confused by the idea that 2 years we couldn't figure it out, but we meet once a year. We talk about these things throughout the year, but 2 years without a plan. I've said it before, I'll say it again, that doing this without a plan is a recipe for disaster. The examples are legion across the United States of doing these things without a comprehensive plan. There are advocates, I met with some of those advocates, and a lot of them are very passionate. In fact, I trust a lot of them that say we need to maybe work towards moving away from this style of support. I'll accept that if we can develop a comprehensive plan. A lot of people have reached out to me about this specific topic. Not all of them agree with me that Rainier School or Yakima Valley School should stay open, and I'm fine with that. Even the ones, though, that are most vehemently against those schools, and they can cite examples of all sorts of horrible situations, and I'm not even denying that they happened. When I say, shouldn't we, when I ask them, would you shut it down without a plan? Every single one of them says no. This bill does not make accommodations for a plan. It doesn't make accommodations for a plan because of probably fiscal discussions that we had yesterday. I assume we're going to have discussions in the future. But to do this without a plan, to say within 2 years we're going to shut it down, we're just going to assume a plan is going to come out of thin air, and then we're going to have no oversight because we didn't decide what the elements of that plan were going to be from a legislative capacity. That's our job, Mr. Chair, is to develop the metrics of success or failure for a plan that should exist, that we're not requiring as part of this legislation. That's why I'm going to request a no vote on this. Not because I'm against the underlying concept that we can do better for our disabled community. That's why I'm here. I believe it. But this is not doing better for our disabled community. Yet, this bill in its current form is not passable, in my opinion. Urge a no vote.